Call the Pen. Today is October 30th. Almost Halloween, my favorite holiday, Steve. Can't wait. House is all ready to go, ready to scare the crap out of kids. It's going to be the best. How was your Disney cruise?
It was awesome. It was really good. They drop you off. I've never been on a cruise before, so I thought I was gonna get seasick. So I got some of those patches for your. It wasn't bad at all. You can't even tell it's on. But it was awesome. The girls had a blast. Yeah. So ate like a king.
Were you able to watch any of these terrible? Well, I guess game one was good.
Yeah. It was good. It went extras. I was able to watch them all actually. So, I mean, obviously game one got out of hand in the 10th, but other than that, like it's kind of been a not great series. It's been slightly one-sided, but I mean, I don't think anyone expected this though. I didn't.
No. Let's recap game one. Let's go. Well, the big decision was the lefties, and we wanted to see Tim Hill face Shohei. They bring in, was it Cortez?
Yep.
And I got nothing wrong with the move. The guy, even though everyone's like, "Oh, he hasn't pitched in 2 weeks," the guy threw 2 pitches, 2 strikes. I mean, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
One was just lower than the other.
Right.
I hate that people are like, "Oh, I didn't like the move because he hasn't pitched," but it doesn't matter. It's not like he was wild and got behind the count. He threw 2 pitches. I didn't like walking Mookie Betts to load the bases to basically pinhole him in a no. You can't make any mistakes. You can't even get behind the count. You can't do chase pitches really. I think that was more of a mistake than anything.
No, for sure. I mean, because here's the deal: like if they bring in Tim Hill instead, and they're gonna say, well, they had Nestor on the bench. He was ready to go. Why didn't they bring in Nestor? He's a starter. He's been great for them, and that would have been the argument. You know what I mean? Like it was a lose-lose for Boone in that situation. Or if they got out of it, obviously we're not talking about this at all. But yeah, as a decision for a manager, obviously for me. It was a tough one, but I have no problem bringing in Nestor.
No, and he looked just fine.
He did, and we have to give credit to Cole. Cole threw a great game. 6 innings, 1 run, I think it was, and same with Flaherty. Flaherty was back.
Yeah,
and that's the biggest surprise of the World Series so far is the Dodgers starting pitching. That was their Achilles heel coming in, and they've shoved.
Yeah, they pitched really well.
Mm-hmm.
Game 2 was interesting. So in the 9th, Rizzo gets hit by a pitch, and then Treinen is struggling against lefties. You could tell he's just not comfortable with lefties that night.
Mm-hmm.
And then they pinch run for Rizzo to make the bases loaded, or he's on first, so his bases loaded. They pinch run for him with a lefty who plays infield, and they let Volpe, who cannot lay off the slider to save his life, hit against Treinen. Why didn't they just use the lefty you just pinch ran with?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just did Treinen a favor. He is just a right-handed hitter's nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
The worst. No doubt. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that was more questionable to me than, the previous game, throwing Nestor in. So, absolutely.
I don't give a crap about how fast the runner is on first because you want to be in force out. Who cares about that?
Yep. But again, tip your cap to Yamamoto. I mean, he's been terrible all postseason. He shoved 6.1 innings, I think 1 run. On the flip end, Rodon, man, he did not look good. He
really hasn't looked good all playoffs. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he had one good game, but you're right. I mean, but that's still like the Yankees still had the upper hand on starting pitching. Like you think that with Rodon being left-handed, it'd be a good matchup. With the strong Dodgers bats, but ultimately it didn't matter.
No, his high fastball just wasn't playing, and they killed him.
Mm-hmm.
And then game 3 was just that was all Dodgers.
I mean, there's nothing even to talk about there. You can't. You're Yankees. You're already down 2, and they come into to Yankee Stadium and just dominate you again. Like it's just. How about
Freddie Peter, man? This guy is on an amazing run. It's
who?
Freddie.
Oh, incredible! He's so good.
So good.
I got asked today, like, what kind of pitcher gets him out? I was like, I don't know. Someone that throws 100 across the top and has a wipeout slider or curveball, like just so he has to choose between the two. Other than that, like,
Yeah,
But changeups, he'll yeah, you can give him a changeup every now and then, but he ends up staying on him, hits him another way. He's got such a short, ugly swing, really, but it's so short to the ball. Like
the one thing I
he'll
learned
just sit.
about Freddie is in and out, and changing speeds. One thing I had success when I had him when I was in and out, and when I
Right.
was surprised up.
Yep, for sure. So
And
I mean,
definitely
he
did my
just
fair share of walks on him too.
it's like him and Otani. And by the way, Otani, like, dude, the guy's an animal. Did you see him running yesterday? Holding
Yeah.
his shirt. That's the only way he can run. Like I can't imagine how bad that feels swinging a
Subluxus
bat.
shoulder, that usually ends guys' seasons.
Like why throw him a fastball again? That's the only thing I feel like he can swing at without hurting himself. You know what I mean? Like you throw him an off-speed pitch, you can see him just flailing at it. It's got to be miserable.
Yeah. We had our Tim Hill matchup, laser to center.
I know. Well, Tim Hill got him to pop out the game before this game 3. So I was like, that's kind of boring. Laser to center, though. You're right. I think it's his only hit since he hurt his shoulder.
And then last night, I mean, the Yankees, they have to hit home runs. They only score if they hit home runs. They don't run bases well. They don't hit runners in scoring position well. It has to be home runs. So I think that's why they're down 3-1, where the Dodgers, obviously they're hitting their homers, but they're also putting together good at-bats and getting hits and runners in scoring position, and they're pitching. So it just shows that you got to put the ball in play.
Yeah, I mean, the Yankees aren't going to manufacture runs. They're just going to launch. So, and kind of unlikely candidate, right? Like Volpe comes in, bases loaded, puts a good swing on
a hanging slider.
I
think you hit that one out.
Oh, for sure. No doubt. You see my swing? Right in my loop.
Those big giraffe arms.
I mean, how awesome is that? Dude's from New Jersey, grew up a Yankees fan. He's in the World Series, hits a grand slam to keep the hopes alive. Like, yeah, that's got to be insane. Like that feeling.
The Dodgers made a run at it. I mean, Weaver had to go a lot. Not so comfortable about this game tonight.
I know. Well, yeah, Weaver did, but thankfully, the thing that saved Weaver and really maybe the Yankees tonight, if they have to use Weaver, is the fact that he didn't have to pitch the ninth.
Yeah,
they scored, 5. They score 5 off. What's his face? Honeywell.
Yeah, I don't know how that guy Honeywell on rosters. That guy's terrible. How is he even on rosters all the time? I've never even seen that guy.
He had a good season, but he was up and down all year. Did you see the thing Muncy said about him? You seen that interview?
No.
Dude, you got to watch it. It's awesome. Muncy, they were celebrating after getting their bid to the World Series. He's like, this man right here is talking about Honeywell. It's like the heart and soul of this team. He gets called up, sent down, gets designated, doesn't leave. And he's the one that got Mookie Betts locked in. He goes, what'd you do with Mookie? He goes, and he's not on the playoff roster at the time. He's like, I threw him BP. I said, hit this, as far as you can. And he's just laying in fastballs. So we get Mookie locked in, just being a team guy. And
that's awesome.
He's like you pitching the night before the game they lost to the Mets. Honeywell ate up a bunch of innings. I think it was 4 innings. He's like, you won us our trip to the World Series by doing that. And basically, it's like giving him all the credit. Because he's selfless. Wow. I'm like, dude, that's sick.
That is cool.
So I'm sure that's a huge reason why they kept him on the roster. But he's a guy they're going to go to for garbage innings just to save the rest of the pen.
Just go up there and get lit up.
Yep.
We'll give you a full share.
Yeah, right. He's getting a full share. He earned it.
Yeah, so, definitely. Well, if you're on the roster, you get a full share.
Look up the interview after. It's really good. You'll like it. Yeah.
That actually makes me like Muncy a little bit.
Seriously, I don't know how I felt about Muncy, and I watched that. I was like, he's very well spoken about this situation, and it was really cool. Yep.
So who we got tonight? Who's starting for the Yankees tonight? We got Cole.
It's Cole, right?
Cole and Flaherty.
Flaherty. Yep. Game 1 rematch. Big question. Well, I guess. Oh, they're in Yankee Stadium. Is Flaherty going to be?
Win.
Exactly. Is Flaherty going to be the same one when he pitched at Citi Field? Or is he going to be the Dodger Stadium Flaherty? That's the big question for me. I'm not worried about Cole.
Not worried about Cole.
Cole's an animal.
The Yankees win this. They go back. Rodon throws game 6. And maybe he shows up, and then it comes really interesting.
Yeah. It says to be determined for the Dodgers, but that's got to be Yamamoto.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, dude, Yankees are...
biggest... obviously if they lose, it's over. But this is the game where you got to punch the Yankees. You got to eliminate the Yankees now. Don't let that lineup start heating up and feel good about themselves.
I got asked if like teams kind of roll over so that way they can win it at home. I'm like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure the Celtics did it this year because they got destroyed in the finals one game just so they could win at home because they were that good. You can't do that in baseball.
No, it's so hard to win. It's hard to win one game. Look at football. It's so hard. Look at the Jets. Those guys can't win a game to save their lives.
Right. Yep. But I mean,
it's too hard to win in professional sports.
Yeah. If it's not over tonight, I think it's done as soon as they go back to Dodger Stadium. So, yeah, I think
the Dodgers in 6.
Yeah, I had the Yankees winning it originally. I just can't see that happening. Yesterday was great.
The Yankees win. If the Yankees win, depends how they win.
Okay.
If Judge still struggles, Soto does nothing, but if all of a sudden the 3, 4, 5 start heating up and they feel good about themselves and they've already seen Yamamoto, you never know.
Yeah, did the Dodgers figure out Soto, by the way?
They must.
He didn't look good last night.
No. He can have a bad day.
He had a knock. He can have a bad day.
You can have a bad day.
There were some pitches that were hittable. He just looked baffled on. When Daniel Hudson was pitching, it was like a low slider that kind of was a gyro slider.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing about him, when he sees something down, he lets it go normally.
It's true. Yep. I don't know. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to tonight because, I mean, other than that, the series has been kind of brutal. So, like, please, let's have a good game tonight.
I told my wife, like, this is one of the worst World Series ever. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. We don't need a sweep for the World Series.
No, not for the Yankees-Dodgers. If it was, like, Guardians-Dodgers.
Right. You expect it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we'll see what's going on. We'll talk about it later. See what happens.
Yeah, let's try to get on here tomorrow.
All right. Maybe you'll get back. Maybe you'll be available, Steve.
See ya.
All right. We'll see you guys. Thank you.